Hello again. Welcome to Tips in 10. I am Bradley Emerson. In this episode, I want to draw your attention to what I call the law of slight edge. Now, if you have been watching the Olympics, if you have been watching the swimming meets, or if you have been watching the 100-meter dash, you would see that the gap between the one who wins and the one who comes second is a fraction of seconds. I mean, it's a fraction of a blink. I mean, even before you could blink, you would either win or lose. I mean, it is that close. But that edge makes the difference. Across industries, across personal lives, across careers, it is that slight edge that you recognize and sharpen makes you help become a legend. Now take, for example, the Blackberry. I mean, Blackberry, we all know, has been the phone for the executive. When it came out as the executive phone, and their market share, I mean, if you go into a board meeting, if there are 10 guys around the table, you can be guaranteed that at least 8 of them will carry a Blackberry. I still find people still carrying Blackberries. So Blackberry came with a massive edge, giving access to emails and all. It became the executive phone of the world. But what happened to them is that they couldn't enhance on that edge when Android phones came in, the smartphones came in. Blackberry was still believing that they can manage and hold on to their position of their innovation that worked very well for some time in the past. Today we know Blackberry is becoming buried. It's been a huge challenge for Blackberry to come back. They tried to come back with an Android phone, but it has a huge war ahead to fight. So the gap between winning and losing is just a fraction. And that is what you need to understand. It's all about running. Now that is why you will find the businesses are called, or businesses are run. We run a business. Why do you say we are running a business? Because every business is in competition. Likewise, you also should begin to say, I'm running my career, because your career is also in competition. Everybody around yourself inside the company, everybody outside the company, probably outside the country, is a potential threat for your winning your career race. So if a business needs to run, then the employees need to run. So running a business is about having a collection of athletes, a collection of business athletes within the company. Now, what makes an athlete? How do you measure the performance of an athlete? Now, athlete is someone who has an objective to achieve. Athlete is someone who trains, recognizing who he's going to be competing with, and he trains of the standards of the competition and to be ahead of that standard. And you train with that purpose. Now just imagine when you wake up and you come to work, how much of preparedness have you had to be a business athlete, to run on your job? It is not about running like a dog running everywhere. It's about running with an objective. It's about running with a view to win. It's about training to run to win. So an athlete is measured on his competitiveness. Such is a business athlete. You are measured on your competitiveness to run in your job role. What are the parameters of measuring an athlete? Definitely time. How fast you can run and how well you run within the track. It is not just you can run fast and wild. No, you have to run fast and disciplined. If you start running before the starter's order, you're disqualified. So you have to follow the rules, you have to keep to the track limits, and you have to run without having taken any anabolic steroids. On your own, you have to run. So your competitiveness by yourself, and you're measured by time. Such is work. Today, you can get your services from anywhere in the world. You can get your products from anywhere in the world. In that sense, you are basically competing with everybody, not in your company, not outside your company, not within the country, but you're competing with the world. So your standards, therefore, is global standards. You got to measure the Olympic timings. You got to run at that. So your first measurement criteria, therefore, is timing. How fast I am and how well do I deliver within the framework at a time that you can deliver it better than the others. That is what makes you an athlete. That's what makes your company an athletic company. Now, to run fast, you have to have energy. Now, energy physically is energy, mentally is energized. Now, to be energized, you have to be focused and you have to be driven, you have to be objective. You have to have that burning desire within yourself to be better than what you were yesterday. So that energizes you. And physically, you have to be fit. That's what I talked about, waking up early, joining that 5 a.m. club. Don't wake up tired. Most of us start the day already tired. So when you start the day already tired, where are you going to gather that energy to run the entire day? Where are you going to show that enthusiasm? Where are you going to show that energized individual you are to the people around you? So competitiveness is measured by timeliness, and timeliness is an outcome of your energy. So you need to build energy. You need to have the ability to energize your mind so that your action helps you win. Third thing that you need to have as an athlete is your creativity. How well do you differ from the other? You got to imagine the end. Look at what your competition looks like, and then you create your own advantage. You create your own uniqueness, and that is how you have the advantage of the law of the slight edge. It's a fraction of a second, remember. It's a fraction of a second between life and death. I'm sure you would have been that close to an accident, you just moved away from it. It's the same between winning and losing. It's just a fraction of a blink that makes the difference. So you will start imagining, you will start discovering how do you differentiate yourself, so that gives you that slight edge in what you're doing. Remember, everybody in your company wants to be a CEO. Everybody in a company is your competition. So how do you create that slight edge that gives you that advantage of a fraction of a second that makes you a winner? And finally, an athlete is measured by skill. And it's not just athletic competition. Even if it is a singing competition, whether it is a speaking competition, whatever, end of the day boils down to how do you do it. That's your skill set. And that is unique because no one can teach you skill because your body is unique. Only you will know what your body can do, what your mind can do. So your skill set, therefore, has to be sharpened only by you. That fits in your body frame. You can't look at Michael Jordan and start training like me. No, it doesn't work that way. You had to pick up his skill and then try to tailor it to fit into your body so that you become effective. Most of the mistakes we make, we try to plug in and cut and paste the skill set of somebody else. It doesn't work. And you will fail. Important thing is to recognize the skill set you require to have to become an athlete and tailor it to fit into your body structure. Then you become effective. Take time to prepare. Every day, when you wake up, that's what I talk about the first hour. Most of us, life is a routine. Most of us, work is a routine. How do you make an impact? You wake up routine, you live routine, you die routine. What's the point? And then you start grumbling, you start grudging that you are not happy about your life. It's your business. So we take time to prepare, to improve. If you look at an athlete, how much hours do they put in to win? Usain Bolt was quoted saying that he trains for 10,000 hours for a competition that lasts less than 10 seconds. Look at the time into preparation, look at the time that goes into the activity. And when you win, it is the 10,000 hours that you put in that made the 10 seconds worthy of life. Remember that. So if you don't prepare, you are not ready to compete. If you're not ready to compete, you're not going to take the advantage of the slight edge. And if you are not prepared at work, you will know it first. When you're not prepared, you know today you are not ready for it. People say this, it was my off day. Why? Because you are not prepared. And when you are not prepared, your team will know that you are not prepared. Not only that, your boss will know that you are not prepared. How many times have you gone to meetings unprepared and caught with yourself standing absolutely ruined? And most dangerous part is your customers will know you are not prepared when you go for a meeting. When you have a conversation, you can't answer the question they ask, you are not prepared. You need to prepare for customer meetings. Find out everything about a customer. Have potential questions and answers ready. Share the questions that you face with your staff so that they get ready. So preparedness is the one that makes you win. So to summarize, you got to have the energy physically. You need to energize mentally. And they always have this phrase called think outside the box. I want to give you something new. I want you to think visually. I want you to get into visual thinking. I want you to imagine what it looks like. And when you imagine what it looks like, it becomes more real. Thinking outside the box is, they say, okay, think outside the tradition. But what I'm suggesting to you is get into a habit of visual thinking. Imagine, physically verify what it is going to look like. And when you feel the looks of it, you are better prepared. Then you can have the advantage of the slight edge. So that's the story for this episode. Thank you very much.